to everyone watching and listening around the world, and welcome. Today we are speaking with Kennedy Lweya. Kennedy is a development practitioner and former IMA trainer, and has been working in the international development sector for over 26 years. I'm really excited to be finding out more about Kennedy and his life, work and interests. So hello, Kennedy, and thank you for speaking with me today.
Hello, Olivia. Thank you for the interview.
And so, Kennedy, tell me just tell me a bit about yourself.
Right. Thank you so much. So my name is Kennedy Lweya. I'm a Malawian by nationality, an international development practitioner with over 26 years of experience in international development. I did my studies at the University of Malawi, my graduate studies, and my postgraduate studies at the University of Reading in Berkshire, United Kingdom, where I did my master's degree in agricultural development economics, and I proceeded on to do a doctorate in livelihoods, focusing on international development and applied economics. Thank you.
Well, that's great. And tell me, how are you connected to IMA? So I mentioned that you're a former trainer, but how do you remain connected with us?
I've remained connected to IMA International because IMA more or less offered me one of the first opportunities to work in international development. Soon after I finished my doctorate at the University of Reading, I joined IMA in 2006 as an international development consultant, having responded to an advertisement that I was placed at the university at the time. I remember my supervisor then, knew about IMA's work in international development and encouraged me to apply for the position, which I did, and I got selected and worked with IMA at the time. Thank you.
Oh, great. Well, it's lovely that you were able to have that experience and that we got to work with you. So that's brilliant. And what would you say you are passionate about in your work now?
Thank you. I'm passionate about identifying challenges impeding community development and finding solutions to such challenges using modern tools for development planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. And these tools and skills, to be honest, I learned a lot of them during my work at IMA International.
Wonderful. And can you give just some examples of some of those tools?
I've used the logical framework, for example, in many of my assignments over the years. And this too, I learned it during my work at IMA International, and I found it very useful and applicable in many circumstances where I've been involved in designing projects, implementing those projects, monitoring and evaluating them.
Oh, great. Well, yes, that's using a logical framework is part of our monitoring and evaluation course, and it's a great tool to use. So it's good to hear that you found that so useful in your work with IMA and beyond. So the question I have for you: how do you inspire change in those around you? Inspiring change is something very important to us at IMA. It's one of our core values, and something we really like to ask the people that we work with. So how do you inspire change?
Thank you. I enjoy being part of the solution to problems, and I like leading by example. And in doing so, I have every hope that it inspires others to be part of the solution to the everyday challenges. So by getting embedded in the finding solutions to the problems, I think that has inspired many around me that I've managed in the various roles that I've played over the years.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, that's it's a massive part of the international development sector, and what we're all really trying to work towards, finding solutions to problems that affect people all around the world. And I think it's great that that's something that you feel you can help inspire people to do. So I wish that for your future work. That's great, Kennedy. And what are you inspired by?
Thank you so much. Well, while it is important to inspire others, I think there are a lot of aspects that also inspire us and inspire me. So personally, I'm inspired by the lives that are changed, by the coming together of like-minded people to create a critical mass to solve the daily life challenges that people experience. For example, if we all put our heads together in unison, we could easily solve some of the world's current challenges, such as hunger, climate change, and poverty that continue to riddle much of the world today. And so we need to think globally and act locally. That's what inspires me.
Brilliant. I think that's great, and a really clear message for finding motivation in the challenges that we all face. I think it's easy sometimes to dwell on the problems and to find it really hard to look for solutions and ways out, and to work as a team globally, to work towards changing the way we do things to help people who need help the most. So it's a really amazing thing to be inspired by, and I feel like that too. Sometimes it's hearing from experiences that other people have had that I think really inspires me to work towards a greater goal. So that's great. And where and when in your career have you learned the most?
Well, I've worked for many international organizations over the last 20 years, including IMA International. Each one of these organizations has shaped me uniquely. But my work at IMA International was in my formative years, soon after I finished my doctorate degree. As such, it contributed immensely in shaping my career in international development. Most of the skills, the tools, the systems, the strategies, the methods that I use when I plan, design projects or teach, development planning and other related courses are literally based on the experiences that I gained while working at IMA International. So I could say IMA, played a huge role in shaping my career in international development.
Oh, well, that's lovely to hear, and brilliant that you've had that experience and learnt about all of those things here, and that you've managed to use those tools and the things you've learnt to create changes in your work and to use them to help other people. So that's really wonderful to hear. Thank you for sharing that, Kennedy. And what so far in your work have been the highlights for you? If you have a few interesting stories or highlights.
I think there have been many highlights in my career so far. One example that I cite in many instances is an opportunity that I had to lead a team or a delegation of IMA consultants to go and prepare a corporate social responsibility strategy for the Shell Petroleum Development Corporation of Nigeria. That is way back in 2006. At that time, the Shell Petroleum Development Corporation was experiencing serious challenges in the Niger Delta. There was immense conflict with the communities due to oil spillages, the high levels of poverty, the youth unemployment in the areas. As such, the company's operations were being affected by the high levels of insecurity and the disgruntledness amongst the communities. So IMA was engaged to go and help craft a strategy to find a lasting solution to those challenges. And I was, as a young development consultant, tasked to lead a team of serious experts to go and work that strategy. So for me, that was quite inspiring and a key highlight, because we managed to deliver on developing that corporate strategy, which until now, I still check with some of the contacts that I still have, both in the Nigerian government as well as in Shell company in Nigeria, to look at how far they've gone in relation to their work there. And it seems the strategy worked, because we recommended various initiatives to help address the challenges. For example, how the youth could be more involved in the work that Shell does, so that they see the benefits of the oil exploration, and how Shell could cooperate more with the government in order to be able to address the community challenges. So the corporate strategy, corporate social responsibility strategy that IMA developed for Shell seems to have brought a lot of fruits in the operations of the company in the area. So that's a key highlight for my work. The second one could be my current work as a diplomat representing my country, Malawi, in Ethiopia, and also to the African Union and the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. So this, for me, is also a key highlight, because for me, it's like a climax of whatever I've done over the past 26 years, and be able now to contribute and craft all that into what can be of benefit to my country in relation to its current foreign policy. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, it's amazing to hear that the highlights that you've had in your career and your work, you're able to reflect on and even go back and hear how their impact has helped people, the impact that we've had, and I think for IMA we're coming into a time where we really think about behavior change and how projects are helping people, and actually listening to the responses and the feedback after a project has happened, and really thinking about how behaviors have changed to create positive change in the different locations. So it's really amazing that you're able to hear back about those things after it's happened and even years on. So so that's really wonderful, and to hear that you feel you've got to the climax of your career and using all of the knowledge that you've gained over the years. I think that's wonderful. So the final question I have for you, Kennedy, is what are you looking forward to in the future?
Thank you so much. I really look forward to leveraging the opportunity of being a diplomat representing my country, Malawi, to be able to advance the case for more investment into my country, where opportunities abound in various sectors, such as tourism, agriculture, education, energy, health, infrastructure development, and many others. So I really want to be able to help, create awareness about these opportunities, and to be able to make the case where the investors really can feel that, coming to invest in Malawi and the other parts of Africa is something that is going to bring, returns, and at the same time help to change the lives of millions of people out here in Africa and Malawi in particular. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I really hope that those changes happen for you and those people in Africa, and in particular Malawi. So it's a really wonderful, positive and optimistic future prospects and what you're looking forward to. So I really hope that happens for you. And thank you for sharing that with me. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, Kennedy, and thank you for sharing your experiences and knowledge and your interests in the international development sector, and what inspires you and how you inspire change in other people. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Olivia. Have a good day.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.